everyone. This is the video you might have been waiting for. I'm going to answer a bunch of questions that people asked me about the house. Here is the house. You can see it is underground. I have videos of a tour of the outside, tour the inside, tour the roof, and telling you what it is. And I have several videos about the house if y'all want to go and see those. I apologize now about the wind. I can try to keep it off the microphone. I don't know. It is windy right now. I decided I don't want to be more windy. I have to turn it on. Okay, well. Okay, let's get into it. And y'all have some pretty good questions, and I'll answer the ones I got. And if I think of more that y'all might want to know, then I'll say that. And if y'all ask me enough questions in the comments down there, I will do another video on it. Trying to block the wind. I don't know if it's working or not. Okay. Okay, somebody wanted to know, or somebody asked, are they safe? The answer is yes, but, I mean, yes, they are very safe. They are like well, it's pretty much, like a storm shelter or cellar, but you live in it. But it's depending on, how old they are. But if you're talking about this one in general, yeah, it's pretty safe. It depends. It depends on how old it is, or what the ceiling is made of. Like how safe they are. Like at that time, it's specific. But this one is pretty safe. Okay, and what they are made of? Well, in short, it's usually either reinforced cement, or there is some made of, earth bags. But this one is reinforced cement. And earth bags are pretty much bags that's filled with, whatever, dirt or whatever. And they're sealed from moisture, like with plastic or plaster, or whatever on the inner side for, the inner wall. And they can be cheaper, the earth bag ones, but I don't know if they're as strong or not. They could be. It's still, they still probably have, the piled dirt on top. But this one is the reinforced cement, so it's pretty much it's lined with cement all around, and it's got rebar in it, so it won't just fall in. It'll just kind of crack, stress fracture, and eventually, I guess it may kind of crumble a little bit. I really don't know. I don't know of any that's that old that I've been in. But anyway. And are they tornado proof? Well, yes and no. Like I said, it is lined with cement, so it won't destroy the house, but it could break, if it went right over it, it might could break a few windows and suck some things out, maybe. I don't really know. This one is south facing, so I guess tornadoes come more from the north. I really don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. But it's more weather protected if you face it south. Well, in the U.S. it is anyway. But it's depending, on the direction that the tornado is going. But it might could break some windows, suck some things out. But if it was right on it, but it probably couldn't do much more to this than take stuff off the front of it, maybe, other than that. So, but in case of a tornado, it's probably better to stay in the back rooms. There's a front room across the front, and then there's bedrooms and such across the back. So, it might be better to stay in the back rooms if there is a tornado coming by. But I usually just sit on the couch, which it's kind of like between those two stands, and that's where the couch is. So it's not the best place to sit. I don't know. I should say porch. I don't know. But those are double paned windows, and there is double doors, 2 sets of doors. So maybe that's a little more protected. There's 2 sets of double pane windows, so it should be okay. Okay, and how thick is the walls and ceiling? Well, the standard for these is 10 to 12 inches. This one is a foot thick, 12 inches all around, floor, ceiling, walls, front, back, everything. Except where the doors and the windows. There's no back door, just windows and the front door. But there's a few feet there on top, so that adds to it. But the cement is 12 inches thick all around. And so yeah. Okay, and along with that, how deep is it underground? Well, like I said, it's a foot thick of cement, but on top of that is a few feet of dirt. And okay, well, there is several feet, and yeah, we've had to dig down on top to fix some things, so I've seen it. And I dug down until I'm like 5'5", something like that. And I dug down until I was pretty sure I couldn't get out if I dug any deeper. And so it's probably at least 5 feet. And I think that is actually too much dirt, if you ask me, because it will start, it could get pressure, like if it's too heavy. Over time, over decades, it can start making the ceiling crack a little bit, And that can be a little leaky if it goes over there. So, you gotta watch that, I guess, but, anyways. So it can, well, it will, go faster anyway, faster. Or make cracks a little faster if there's too much dirt on it. And I think, in my opinion, it's too much dirt on it, but my dad designed this and had it built himself, so he was there the whole time, and he didn't do everything exact. He never did enough research on it, if you ask me, but he just kept putting dirt on it. But anyways, we're not going to go into that. Okay, somebody asked, what is the temperature like inside versus outside? And contrary to belief, no, it is not always cold in there. In fact, in the summer, in the winter, it does get really cold, and in the summer, it does get really hot. But, there's a but there, it does take longer. It does take more time for it, like more days or weeks or months or whatever, to get colder and to get hotter in there. So, it will get hotter, but it may not be till like later in July or something, maybe. I don't know. But it does take longer for it to get hot in there, but it will eventually get hot in there in the summer. I live in the South where it is humid, very humid. So humidity makes things, it makes it feel even hotter, just put it that way. So, yes, it does get hot in there, but it does take a little longer for it to get hot in the summer and longer to get cold in the winter. It's not as extreme as temperature in there as the outside during the winter and the summer, but it still will get cold and hot. As I said, there's still doors and double pane windows, so that does keep out some of the cold and heat, but it will still get cold. I mean, it's still technically a cave, so virtually, it pretty much is a cave. And I forgot my notes for this part, but from the front door to the back, the front door to the back of the house, it's more like outside in the front of the house, and in the back of the house it tends to be a little cooler than the front. Technically, I guess, but it will still get warm and hot, in there. And I guess there is a difference, but it's technically about, the same. Depending on if the air conditioner or heaters are on. If you have central air in them, this one doesn't. But if you have central air in them, then, it might can keep it at, a better temperature. But this one doesn't, so I don't know. It is March now, and we are still using the heater. We're still using heaters most during the day. But okay, a big question is it humid in them? What about mold? Well, if you have central air, that may help with humidity in there. But the answer is a big fat yes. It is humid. If you live in a humid place, then yes, it's humid in there pretty much all year round, but not as bad during the winter maybe. But it does get humid in there. And about the mold, yes, if it's humid, you can get mold. Though cement technically can't sustain mold itself, but the humidity on it can make mold. So yeah, you can get mold in there. This one, we kind of fight mold sometimes. Yeah, but yes, it does get humid. I live in the South, and it gets over 100 here in the summer usually. So humid makes it feel even hotter than that. Now my other videos have, I've answered some questions in those and talked about it. I have one where it has things about what it's like living in it. I have go into more detail in that one, and it's called something like that. What it's like living in it, and I apologize if the wind is. I apologize if the wind is moving the camera. I can't really tell what it's doing. It's on. I don't have my good tripod. I got my other wimpier one. I've actually got my other one down. But if it is humid there, then yes, you can get it can grow mold, and you really have to keep the humidity down because the humidity can be like seems like half the time it's over 60 in there, up to like 80s. It's really not that good for it to do that. But we have air conditioning that helps. I hope I'm helping the microphone. I'm not sure. It's windy right now. I'm sorry the wind is moving the camera. Okay. Okay, and another question is it dark? Or is it always dark? Yes and no. It depends if it has windows and where the windows are. But the front room is usually light if it's daylight. The back rooms are always dark unless you turn a light on. And but the ones that face south get more light. That's what I hear. Okay. And but the south facing ones get more light apparently, because the sun goes over that way. Around here anyway. And but the back rooms are dark. Did y'all hear that? That was over there. Okay, whatever that was. But the back room's just dark, unless there's light shining, the sun shining from, the front room or something. Or unless you turn the lights on. Some of them have an atrium in the middle, which is a hollow space, where there's no roof or it's covered with windows, so there's light that will shine in, around that. But this one doesn't have that. We have a friend that has one like that. My parents met in one of these kind of houses, and that one didn't have an atrium either. I guess he liked it so much he decided to do one. Okay, and how are they built? Well, they are either built into a hill or from the ground up. If that was a fire truck, it was going toward the firehouse, step away from it. That's weird. I don't know if that's too loud for you to hear me, so I ain't asking questions till it's passed by more. I get to see more of that. Something's going on. I do like a mile or a mile and a half from a fire station, so it might not be peaceful. It may not be peaceful today. I don't know. But I live in the country, so you don't really hear that much. Okay, but they're usually built into a hill or built from the ground up. This one was built into a hill, and they might have hollowed it out to build it, and then they put the dirt back on top. I'm not really sure. I don't really know how they did it, but my dad did add more dirt later, and it is pretty strong. We've driven the truck on top of the house before, and it's fine. But that was like years and years ago. I wouldn't do that now. I think there's too much dirt on it now, but I would never drive anything on it now. It's heavy. But anyway, and how long do they last? Well, that's really hard to say, but like any house, it depends on how good you take care of it and how well it's built. And if there's way too much dirt on top, then the ceiling might crack faster than it normally would. This house was built in the mid 80s, or it was finished in the mid 80s, or both, actually. And so it's, got 30 some odd years on it. And you can see some, fractures in the ceiling. I don't know how long they last, but this one, if you ask me, has too much dirt on it. So I'm not sure how long it'll last, but I think it should last for a long time. I would say 50 to 100 years. Depends on how, it just depends on how good you take care of it, how good you keep it up to date, and how good you renovate it. And I mean, you can fix cracks in the ceiling, but it's lined with rebar too. It's got rebar in the cement, so you would see little bits crumbling out before anything would be crumbling, or chunks, or even the whole thing fall in. It wouldn't happen like that, but you would probably notice if it was getting unstable. But I think they last a long time. If you take care of them, like any house, you gotta take care of it. I didn't really do much research on that. I'm not really sure, but they should last, as long as most houses, but if you take care of it really good, it should last a long time if you build it good. If you take shortcuts, you know, there might be more problems. I don't know. I have a video on what you need to know before you build one of these, so if you want to know more about that, you can check that video out. I am going to try to put the link to all of them in the info below the video, so y'all go down there and click on those. I'll put the titles and stuff if y'all want to watch, and I may put a shortcut to the inside tour and the outside tour at the end of the video right there. But I have a few videos about the house if y'all want to check it out. Okay, and lastly, someone asked, to see the inside. Yes, you get to see the inside if you go check out my video of the inside tour. I'm not gonna record the inside of it right now. I'm just doing the questions on this time, but thank you for all your questions. If I didn't have questions in the comments and elsewhere, then I'll do another video and answer more of y'all's questions. I'm sorry about the wind and the neighbor's dog over there, or whatever else is in there. And I'm not sure if the wind is shaking the camera, but I apologize for that. I guess this video is a little longer than I thought it would be, but I answered all the questions that I had seen. And thanks for all the questions, y'all. If y'all have more, feel free to ask them in the comments. I may or may not answer them in the comments. I answered some of them that was asked in the comments more in depth if y'all want to look at those. Oh, well, maybe a little more in depth. But if y'all have any questions, and if I get enough of them, I'll make another video. But I thank you for watching, and I hope I answered the questions enough. But this house is around 35 years old, maybe. And it's a pretty good house. I've always felt safe in it. People have actually came over during storms, to sit with us if there's a tornado warning. So, yeah, it's pretty much like living in your own storm shelter. You don't have to leave to go to your storm shelter. But it is humid in there. And yeah, but feel free to check out my other videos about the house. And I have other videos about other things as well if you want to check those out. And feel free to comment, have your comments about the house. Leave good comments, be nice. Insults will probably be deleted. But if you want to leave questions, you want answered or anything, then feel free to leave those. But anyways, have a good day and thanks for watching.